Riding high after Monday night's victory over the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots on that 7-game win streak now will enjoy a late week 14 bye. Here are some things the Patriots should work on during their week off. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media reporting from Gillette Stadium, and let's start on the offensive side of the ball for Mac Jones, Josh McDaniels, and company. The Patriots' red zone offense is one area where they still need to sharpen some things up to finish drives with more touchdowns, more drives ending in the end zone. So far this season, the Patriots ranked 26th in red zone touchdown efficiency. And before you say it, I already looked up the numbers during the 7-game winning streak. The Patriots are still just 17th in red zone scoring efficiency. So certainly improving, but 17th, you can do a whole lot better than that. Looking at some of the things that the Patriots will need to do better, their rushing attack in particular in the red zone, not as good as what you might expect. They're very, very good from inside the 5-yard line, ranking 3rd in the league with 11 touchdowns from inside the 5 on the ground. But between the 6 and the 20 in that high red zone area, the Patriots not as efficient on the ground in those areas of the field. So that is where they're going to need to open up this passing game and figuring out some creative ways to either get the ball in the end zone from the high red zone straight into the end zone, or get inside that 5-yard line where they can unlock this power rushing attack. We have seen Josh McDaniels use some new tricks or new schematic wrinkles over the last few weeks, maybe not against Buffalo, given that game plan, but against the Titans and against the Atlanta Falcons, using Nelson Agholor on those shallow crossing routes, those drag routes over the middle of the field, mesh concepts with the pick plays. I think that's a great utilization of Agholor's speed to horizontally stretch the defense. You can't vertically stretch a defense from the red zone in the condensed area of the field, so you got to use your speed from side to side or horizontally across the formation. I think Agholor, not only on those drag routes, but also on end arounds or jet sweep actions, pop passes, things like that, could be a real factor down inside the red zone in order to use some of that speed to the Patriots' advantage. The other player I'd point at that could maybe be utilized a little bit more in the red zone is tight end Jonnu Smith. Now, in the passing game, Smith could obviously be utilized a little bit more in all areas, but last year for the Tennessee Titans, 9 red zone touchdowns for Jonnu Smith. So far this year, only 1 touchdown on the season for the New England Patriots. So getting Smith involved on different types of actions. Go back to that tape again from the Tennessee Titans again from last year, where Smith had 9 red zone TDs, and look at some of the ways that Mike Vrabel and the Titans were able to get him open or scheme him touches down by the goal line. I think he is a more red zone threat, or a bigger red zone threat, than what the Patriots have gotten out of him so far. On the defensive side of the ball, really not a lot to complain about. I mean, this defense is playing lights out right now, doing everything well. The Titans game and the rushing defense seems like an anomaly against a very well schemed rushing attack in Tennessee, so I'm not going to overreact to that game for New England with their run defense. But the one thing I will point to that's not really something that they've done anything wrong with or have to correct or anything like that, but building complements off of some of the zone structures that they've ran over this 7-game win streak, I think is going to be important here down the stretch. Teams now have 7 games of tape of the zones that the Patriots are running, both cover 2 and post safety cover 3 zones, the rotations that they've used, all the different tricks and bells and whistles that Bill Belichick has put on these zone coverages to disguise them and make them difficult for quarterbacks to decipher. You know, offensive coordinators are combing through that tape, and they're starting to figure out ways to attack the Patriots and where the vulnerabilities are in those zone structures. And one team eventually is going to dink and dunk their way down the field and be content with taking those profits against the Patriots linebackers in the middle of those zones. So when that does happen, the Patriots have to have some schematic wrinkles, have to have some things in their back pocket. I would say building complements or protecting their zone structures is something that they should be studying and figuring out how to do over this week off, as well as they self-scout their defensive side of the football. Offensively, improve the red zone offense. Defense, protect your stuff. Make sure that you have some things in your back pocket some different wrinkles that teams haven't seen so far out of those zone structures so you don't get predictable. Those are the two things I'd look for the Patriots coming out of the bye to do things a little bit differently against the Indianapolis Colts in Week 15. For now, enjoy the bye week and enjoy the 7-game winning streak. The Patriots will certainly take this rest and recharge for a showdown with the Indianapolis Colts, followed by a rematch right here at Gillette Stadium with the Buffalo Bills in Week 16. You can check out the rest of our Patriots coverage on Patriots Press Pass and on CLNSmedia.com. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media. Thanks for watching.